Everybody's getting so lazy. Don't want nobody touch my hair, cause a lot of sisters acting too crazy. And them not tough like this, rough like this, and them not nice like this. Some can't take it when you talk true sense. Rather hear the words that glorify nonsense. Yes, and I got my brain, and I'm pretty like my mama. I don't wanna pick your brains, I just want the microphone. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
It's 7 a.m. viewers, and this is the Tobago Updates morning show coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. Yes, it's Thursday, and I'm sure you can hear my energy and my excitement as it's the final day before what we enjoy as a long weekend. And to be very specific, the Easter weekend major celebrations happening here in Tobago. I am Julian Skeet as we continue to give God thanks for life. And this morning we continue to share our love and support with Rhea Richardson, George and family. We are here for you. Take as much time as you need. We are here for you every step of the way, Rhea. And we look forward indeed to continuing to connect and to provide that support in these challenging times. Viewers, we've got a packed show for you this morning. But just before we even get into the full lineup for our show this morning, we head over to news in 90 seconds with Denicia.
Thank you, Julian. Here's your news in 90 seconds. A man is dead after he got into difficulties in Backlit Bay yesterday. Eyewitnesses say the unidentified man changed into swim clothes on the beach and got into the water. However, he got into some difficulties shortly afterwards and disappeared underwater. When he did not resurface, visitors to the beach called for help. The Coast Guard and search responded to the calls and began searching for the man. His body was later discovered at around 3:50 p.m. Police removed the body from the beach and are now trying to ascertain the man's identity. In the wake of rising fuel prices, there will be no increase to taxi fares in Tobago. So says President of the Taxi Drivers Association, Bidley Dikoto. He told Tobago Updates that it will be unreasonable to increase taxi fares at this time in light of the recent price hike less than a month ago. He noted that the population is already facing enough financial challenges and they will not add to that burden at this time. Findings from a recent NACTA poll show that the Progressive Democratic Patriots is gaining the support of traditional PNM and UNC voters. Only on Sunday, political leader Watson Duke opened an office in Barataria. He has been walking through various communities, gathering much support anywhere he goes. The NACTA poll says Duke and the PDP have a high positive rating, while ratings for leaders of the PNM and UNC are dropping and losing ground. That was your news in 90 seconds. Back to you, Julian.
Thank you so much, Denicia. And folks, very interesting in the news lineup this morning, specifically at that, giving a sense as to the NACTA polls with regards to the PDP's entrance there across in Trinidad in terms of making and taking that wave beyond just Tobago. It's left to be seen, as I indicated earlier in the week. This is definitely an indication of a much earlier start in terms of as we head towards what is that the next duly, the elections being due in 2025. So we look forward to seeing how that turns out. And then we would have had this sad indication, and I can't help but remember my family in terms of my uncles, and when you talk about Backlit Bay, for many of those continue to be young at heart. It's a place where they go to play football, where they take a quick sea bath and so on. And, it's interesting that we would have had this very unfortunate situation take place in the Backlit area. And it's just a reminder to persons in terms of making every effort to be as careful as possible. It would appear perhaps, in terms of the waters may have been more than, as one of my grandmothers would have normally said, you could never tell. Sea is something that you're not as easily able to predict. And even the best of swimmers have struggled at times. So we want to encourage you, especially as we venture into this long weekend, please make every effort to be as safe as you possibly can. You, the members of your family, our children, and so ensure that you keep them safe as they get ready to return to school. That's next week, Wednesday. Just to clarify, the rest of the country, Trinidad, returns on Tuesday the 19th. However, Tobago, as a result of the fact of Tuesday 19th activities, Easter Tuesday as it's known here in Tobago, we return on Wednesday. So get your students, get all our children ready to head back out to physical school on Wednesday. At this point, we want to encourage our viewers in the lineup, just as we go into birthdays this morning. We want to encourage you. Drop a message or two on the live for us. What do you do for the Easter weekend? Is it church? Is it kite flying? Is it relaxing at home? Taking in the events? Heading out to some all-inclusives? Looking forward to the sports and family day, goat racing? Tell us, what do you do on the Easter weekend? Drop a line there for us on the live. What do you do on the Easter weekend? We want to welcome all of you joining us from Tobago, Trinidad, those in the region and the world at large. Thank you for continuing to connect with the Tobago Updates morning show. At this point, viewers, we head on into our birthday lineup. This morning, yes, and we've got our star on screen. You would know her as Kwa, and this morning we're saying, Anika Granham, we want to wish you a happy birthday coming from the Tobago Updates family. Yes, folks, this is the voice you hear on a morning. Put a smile on your face. Yes, she's responsible for that that song track that you just hear ringing naturally as you prepare and excite yourself to watch the Tobago Updates morning show each day. So we want to wish you a happy birthday coming from the Tobago Updates family. All right, and we head on down with birthdays today. We have Afisha McCain. Sending birthday shout-outs to Afisha McCain this morning, and we trust that you have an enjoyable one. Well, you've got a long weekend. That's the beauty of a birthday that falls today. All right, so we trust that you have an enjoyable one, Afisha. All right, and we continue on the lineup. Carissa Daniel, wishing Carissa Daniel a happy birthday coming from the Tobago Updates family. All right, and we know that you all are going to certainly have a grand time going into the long weekend. And we can't forget at all the man in this lineup, gentleman, I should say, in this lineup. We all know him in terms of spoken word, and in that industry we have Cleon McPherson as he continues to promote all things Tobago, really representing us in the art form. Cleon McPherson, my brother, we trust that you have an enjoyable birthday celebration coming from the Tobago Updates family. All right, certainly, folks, love in the house. This morning, on our rundown, we have chatting with us, speaking to the resurgence of theatre in Tobago. We'll be chatting with none other than Councillor Tashia Grace Burris, Secretary for the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation. That will be followed by a segment as we speak to a taste of Boku, what to expect. And we'll be chatting with Jessie Taylor, Cultural Officer 2. And in the final segment this morning, of course, if we're talking Easter Tuesday, we must talk Easter Monday. And we speak about Easter Monday Sports and Family Day. And we'll be chatting with the CMB Community Enhancement Group, President and Director Natasha Second and Niconia Samuel, respectively. So we look forward to the discussions this morning as we bring you all the information. Yes, folks, it's Thursday. It's the energy, it's the love, it's the excitement. It's the joy of not having to wake up early tomorrow. All right? So we want to thank you so much for the continued love and support for the Tobago Updates morning show. Those of you connecting with us via TV, Gael and M&E TV. Those of you connecting with us via Smash Radio. Also, those of you joining us online via YouTube or TobagoUpdates.com. And those of you on Facebook, we want to remind you, now is the time to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Start off your Easter weekend with a historical tour of the Assembly Legislature. Learn about the hidden parts of Tobago's history from inside one of the oldest buildings in the Caribbean, located on Jenningham Street in Scarborough.
So why it's sounding so scary?
It's better not to come alone. Entry is free. Once you're inside, you might have to stay forever.
What you mean stay forever?
Just walk with your money for refreshments and a donation towards our student study tours about the Westminster parliamentary system.
Okay.
Thursday, 14th April 2022, Assembly Legislature Historical Tour, the X-Files edition. Assemble at the Old Market Car Park for 7 p.m. COVID protocols will be enforced. Check our social media pages to reserve your space and for updates forever.
Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Rest easy at American Stores. Up to 20% off. Outstanding discounts on selected Serta, Sealy, and Therapeutic mattress brands. Check us out today at American Stores, where we make quality living affordable.
Boy, want you, boy? Why you behaving so? Boy, it's 2 years now, me and run a race, boy. I swear I was going in a curry, boy.
The Tobago House of Assembly, in collaboration with the Goat Owners Association of Tobago, presents A Taste of Buku, which will be held on Easter Tuesday, 19th April 2022 at the Buku Integrated Facility. This event will showcase the Tobago art form of goat racing, crab racing, cultural performances, and an array of local art and cuisine. Admission price, $40 for adults, $20 for the children. It's all happening on Easter Tuesday at Buku Integrated Facility. Come get a taste of Buku.
The Tobago Agribusiness Development Company is inviting one and all to taste Tobago. Come down to the Gardenside Car Park in Scarborough for Tadco's product launch and exhibition on Thursday, 14th April 2022 from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's the day before the holiday. Come see an array of our local agro-processors as we introduce you to the best of Tobago's food products, all in one place. Come see, taste, and explore Tadco's product launch and exhibition, transitioning agribusiness in Tobago. Defining local taste. Don't miss it.
It's the return of the Chief Secretary's Bago T10 Blast from Saturday 9th April to Friday 15th April 2022 at Sid Gray Sporting Complex, Roxborough. 7 days of explosive cricket action like never seen before.
That's one of the biggest hits in the tournament so far.
Come see national players Imran Khan, Mark Dial, Jason Mohammed, Jid Gooley, Terence Hines, Carrie Pierre, Christopher Vincent, Tian Webster, and players from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You don't want to miss out on the celebrity games on the final day, featuring West Indies stars Joshua De Silva, Akil Hossain, Jaden Seals, and Stacey Ann King. 4 franchises loaded with local, national, and regional stars will clash at 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. daily. Lots of nightly giveaways. Only $20 at the door. Get in the game with the Chief Secretary's Bago T10 Blast 2.0. This ad is powered by the Office of the Chief Secretary.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. It's 7:13 a.m. and indeed we welcome you back, all of you joining us here on the lineup this morning. Just before we head into this segment, we're looking for that photo coming up on screen. Yet another birthday. Yes, man. Most of you may know him, Mice from East Bay Fashion. We want to send out birthday blessings going out from the Tobago Updates family. All right, we're trusting that you'd have an enjoyable celebration. Viewers, in this segment, we are chatting with Councillor Tashia Grace Burris, Secretary for the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation. So you have to slow down with the new name now. And this morning we're chatting about the resurgence of theatre in Tobago. Morning to you.
Good morning.
So we would have had a situation, or rather we would have had the opportunity where it is TPAC would have been here, Rishon, earlier in the week, speaking to the upcoming bitter cassava production. Now, before we even go in fully to speak further down the road with regards to the resurgence of theatre, I wanted to get your view, because naturally, as the secretary, you may have had the benefit or the privilege of what we refer to as a sneak peek. So I want you to give us that perspective without giving out too much of why it is important. Because folks, before we got started here, she insisted, will you be at Bitter Cassava? Speak to us, Secretary.
Thank you, Julian, and good morning to all your viewers. Listen to me, I am a culture baby. So I used to do storytelling in primary school, and I came up under Annette Alfred and Miss Dillon in RC school and Miss Mitchell. So that culture is naturally in my blood. But let me tell you something about Bitter Cassava. If you don't have a ticket to Bitter Cassava today, you need to get a ticket to Bitter Cassava today. Because Bitter Cassava represents to me the birth of something new in theatre and culture in Tobago. It is the start of, I think, something that could become brilliant, something that could set Tobago apart in terms of us now becoming the culture capital of this country and the Caribbean. Our residents at TPAC, let me tell you, I don't even have words. The sneak peek that I saw a 15-minute dress rehearsal, and they're doing dress rehearsals at the Buku Integrated Facility. And between my paws raising and wanting to cheer and wanting to cry and getting angry, there's a roller coaster of emotions that took place in that little 15 minutes. I don't even want to know what the rest of the plot sounds like. I just want to go and sit and enjoy the show. So, as I said, if you are into theatre, if you're into culture, if you want to do something different, because I know that there's cricket on, and I know that we are a very sport-loving island, and that's fine. But certainly, those persons who may not necessarily be drawn to sports, Bitter Cassava is your best bet for quality entertainment over this weekend. And having it at the Magdalena, I must thank the management of the Magdalena for hosting Bitter Cassava. We have 3 nights, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, as well as a matinee for students on Saturday afternoon from 2. So we have 4 showings, basically, and let me tell you, you may buy a ticket for one night, and then you may end up going back again. But as I said, if you don't have a ticket for Bitter Cassava and you're looking for something to do during the night, over the next few days, check out Bitter Cassava. It will not disappoint.
Clearly, this is a division and TPAC kind of drive, because you reassure you all of yours.
Yes, no, like I'm sold. I'm sold.
You don't just want to stick with one, just in case you can have a repeat of the night. So we have it on screen there, folks. Just a reminder to you, it happens on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Magdalena Grand. In terms of, and we're encouraging persons to come out. This is a collaboration in terms of an initiative taking place through TPAC and the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities, and Transportation. And what's pretty nice about it, and I like the fact that you made a reference to that, and that's where I want us to go with the line of questioning. It speaks to something different in the Tobago space. We have grown accustomed to some of the standard in terms of events, from the standpoint of whether it's sporting events, whether it's parties, whether it's entertainment, etc. But this really speaks to a variation. Tell us a little bit more in terms of what can we expect? Where can we see things going in terms of this focal point? Because we already know for a fact, coming out of the division, the other area of responsibility, speaking to festivals, so we can anticipate naturally the Tobago Heritage Festival and others. But give us a sense, particularly in the area of theatre, where can we see this movement going into the future?
Well, let me tell you something, Julian. When I first took up this portfolio, it was around the time that there was a lot of conversation surrounding TPAC and how it was formed, and creatives were kind of probably divided as to whether or not this thing would work. And, you know, you're walking with some concerns, you're walking with some maybe skepticism, because you've not seen something like this work in this space before. You don't really have governments hiring dancers and hiring residents and hiring artistic directors and having them operate in a space where they have to do what they have been trained to do, as well as deal with the administration that comes with government and the bureaucracy that comes with government. the birth of TPAC was the ability to monetize our culture in a very real way in Tobago. So that we take what we've been used to, that heritage festival that we get, the 2 weeks of culture, our communities coming out and producing, we now want to take that concept into a very formal space, and that is why Shaw Park is basically the home of TPAC, because you're trying to build out something very much similar to Broadway, where at any given time you have plays of high quality being executed, and it's at a home where you can go, you buy tickets for the season, and you see a number of talents come to life on the stage. And that is ideally where TPAC has to go. It has to monetize our culture in such a way that you now formalize what we have been doing all of these years. Taking heritage out of that 2-week July, August, and now bringing heritage to the stage. Why can't I see Shalaka Feast in May? Why can't I see folktales and superstitions in September? Why can't I see Wakan Bongo being played out in January? Nothing stops that. What TPAC has to do, not just with the performance part of the thing, but ensuring that the quality of the productions as well. And that is where even our Department of Culture has a very critical role to play, because the division's role here is to ensure, one, that TPAC has the legs and the wings to grow and fly. And our Department of Culture, led by Mr. Taylor, has to now step in and ensure the authenticity of the product that is being put out, and ensure that we stay true to our Tobago roots, and we're able to translate that to the stage in a very real and authentic way. So TPAC, in terms of what they are doing now with Bitter Cassava, this is the first. It's actually being held under the patronage of both the Office of the Chief Secretary and the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation. And it is their first foray into that space where we are now monetizing our culture. And this is, to me, one of many. And I'm just waiting for other members of the public to see what I experienced in this sneak peek, and then they will now understand, yes, maybe at first we didn't see where this was going, maybe we weren't sure if it could work, but based on what I've seen, I think this could work.
Two things stands out there that I want to have a follow-up touch on. You would have gone in some way, form or fashion to the Tobago Heritage Festival. Now, some have complained with times, we love our culture, we appreciate the Tobago Heritage Festival, but is there a way for us to maintain that love, maintain that connection, but do things a little different to engage for the Tobagonian or for the person who has visited year after year, to maintain that kind of excitement? Or so can we look forward to some possible variations while we respect our culture and our art form in terms of the heritage?
I have made it very clear that going forward there's going to be deeper collaboration between our companies. So we have TFCL on one hand, we have TPAC, we have TTAL. And those three really have to work together because their success depends on each other. TTAL is responsible for the marketing and the branding. They are the people who bring the people. TPAC gives people something to see, which is the culture. You're sitting and you're observing and you're going through the motions of what you see on stage. TFCL gives you something to experience, and all three of them have to work together. With respect to the Tobago Heritage Festival now, because we now have a number of young creatives coming into the space and they're doing excellent things on their own, and we have young creatives working at TPAC, what I foresee is a greater collaboration between Festivals Commission and TPAC to produce the Tobago Heritage Festival, so that the quality of the productions will now be of a much higher standard, while remaining true to the roots, the Tobago roots and our Tobago culture. Because nothing is wrong with innovation, nothing is wrong with updating, nothing is wrong with presenting something in a different way or saying it in a different way, but still retaining the meaning of the thing. And that is what is most important. Actually, this Tobago Heritage Festival incarnation this year will have a combination of productions being put on by communities and productions being put on by standalone promoters and groups and that kind of thing. But what ultimately I'm looking for is, how do we do this thing differently? How do we package this thing that makes sure that people tune in, that makes sure that people are attentive, that makes sure that people want to participate? And I'm saying that there is room for growth, there is room for innovation, there is room for us to, as the cliche goes, think outside of the box. This is the time, yes? Because the reality is coming out of the festivals like Heritage, you now give TPAC their foundation or their work because we can then take out the aspects of the heritage that are most popular and put them on the stage. So what stops somebody from Trinidad who may normally come to Heritage in July, August and can't make it this year? What stops them from coming to Tobago in October and seeing it play out on the stage? Nothing stops it. So this is the purpose of having TPAC there, to take the elements of our culture that we can now package for our viewing audience and put it out there for the world to see.
Madam Secretary, you mentioned the Office of the Chief Secretary in collaboration with the division. And you know the obvious thing that comes up from the time you speak about Chief Secretary Farley Augustine. Can we look forward to these types of theatre productions happening throughout the Tobago space and not just limited to the western side of the island?
Well, that is, you know, part of building out what TPAC could eventually turn out to be, is ensuring that we have performance spaces across the island and performance spaces that could rival anything that you see worldwide. And that takes long-term investment. Because of the structure of TPAC being a standalone company, TPAC could now has the latitude to seek out grant funding and collaborations with international universities to get certain things that maybe the government might drag their foot on. And that's the reality of bureaucracy. Bureaucracy doesn't you know, it begins to slow down production. And when you're talking about culture, you're talking about production, yes? So TPAC has that opportunity to now take their show on the road, so to speak, and they've already gotten interest from persons to have bitter cassava in Trinidad for Trinidad audiences to enjoy. So certainly it's not, it will not be confined to the west of the island. We really kind of have to identify places throughout Tobago where we can build out performance spaces, so that, because you don't want a situation where you're going into a blank space and you have to spend a lot of money on stage and lighting and different elements. What we have to look at is permanent spaces for culture to grow, for performing arts to take place. So that is our long-term vision, and certainly this administration is on board with building out that long-term vision for culture on the island.
Excellent. And just before we wrap this morning, based on your area of responsibility, there are a lineup, and I think you made mention of it, the Tobago Tourism Agency, Tobago Festivals, as well as TPAC, in terms of boards to be appointed. We saw quite recently, so I want you to tell us very quickly about the recent appointment of the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited, and what we can also look forward to in terms of in the near future, in the distant future, with the appointments of the other two boards, driving that connected mandate which you outlined.
So the Tobago Agency Limited's board was appointed on Monday, and it's now being chaired by Miss Alicia Edwards, and the deputy chair is Mr. Nasib Mohammed. And they are joined by a cadre of persons across the tourism and associated sectors to be able to reinvigorate, I think, the excitement for brand Tobago. So we have persons who are qualified in, for example, cruise shipping and ground transportation, airlift, events and marketing, or marketing per se, and events and festivals, administration and finance, stakeholder engagement. That was one particular area that we wanted to focus on, because coming out of the consultations, one of the things that was brought to our attention was the fact that the stakeholders felt disconnected from the boards and disconnected from the companies that are supposed to be working on their behalf. So we have a director who's appointed particularly to treat with stakeholder engagement and ensuring that there is always that constant communication and that link between the persons that we have to serve and the boards that have to execute the mandate of the administration. So we have all these lovely young people. We have Miss Asha Maz, who is there. We have Miss Ria Esdel, who is there for airlift. We have young Alex Job Thomas, and his story is particularly special because he came up under our Tourism Youth Clubs initiative, and he has now gone on to go to UE. He's studying tourism. I think it's international tourism management, and he's in charge of that tourism club at UWI, and he's a very exciting young man. And this administration really is not just about giving young people token positions, but really bringing them to the table in a real way and ensuring that they have a vote and they have a voice. And I'm really proud of Alex in particular, because it tells me that our youth club initiatives, our tourism youth clubs that we have across our high schools, they are working. and that our young people are becoming more engaged and involved, and they see tourism as a viable career path. And what we're looking at actually is extending the work of those youth clubs into the communities and possibly forming community clubs. So certainly I think the appointment of this board augurs well for the sector in Tobago and in general. I know that the chair has her work cut out for her, but I know that she is up to the task. She's very well qualified and she's a dynamic lady, and I look forward to just only good things
and
from
how
this
soon
board.
Can we, in terms of projections for the other two?
For the other two, we are hoping to have those appointed before the end of the month, certainly. We just have to do a little bit of work, but certainly before the end of the month.
And Secretary, I want to join with Secretary to even add to those commendations. So I was particularly pleased with the selection of Alex.
Right.
I had the opportunity to work with Alex. In addition to what you've mentioned, Alex also functioned as our youth clerk of the Assembly, being involved in the Tobago Youth Assembly program. Exceptional at that. Alex has been on the joint initiative with the Assembly Legislature, heading out to the study tour, seeing governance systems out there in the UK, and it sends an excellent signal in terms of going beyond just a token identification, but recognizing, let us incorporate our young persons with the capacity and skill set, even if they may be much younger than the standard. So commendations on that.
We are actually grooming the next set of politicians and administrators to take over. And you may find that maybe 10 years from now, Alex may be the next secretary. He might be sitting where I'm sitting now.
Looking on. He's certainly looking on, smiling this morning. Viewers, we have it there, conversations this morning, chatting on the resurgence of theatre in Tobago, and of course touching on the current issues, recent board appointments, and the way forward, the sense of direction for us within the area of particularly focusing this morning on culture. And we are thankful to have on with us. Thank you very much for joining us on set, Councillor Tashia Grace Boris, Secretary for the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation. And folks, we move from one aspect of the division to another. Secretary Tashia comes with her style and flair, and the gentleman coming up in the next segment comes with his own energy. All right, folks, so we prepare as we head in to talk about in the next segment a taste of Buku, what to expect. We'll be chatting with Jessie Taylor, Cultural Officer 2. At this point, viewers, we want to thank each and every one of you continuing to join us via radio, TV, and those of you joining us online. Pause for a moment. Yep, this is where you go to that button and you click Share the Live. Share, share, share. In fact, the secretary is going to take us out. What is it, Secretary?
Tobago Morning Updates family, you need to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Boy, warm to you, boy. Why you behaving so? Boy, it's 2 years now, me and run a race, boy. I swear I was going in a curry, boy. The Tobago House of Assembly, in collaboration with the Goat Owners Association of Tobago, presents A Taste of Buku, which will be held on Easter Tuesday, 19th April 2022 at the Buku Integrated Facility. This event will showcase the Tobago art form of goat racing, crab racing, cultural performances, and an array of local art and cuisine. Admission price, $40 for adults, $20 for the children. It's all happening on Easter Tuesday at Buku Integrated Facility. Come get a taste of Buku.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
There's a taste in the air everywhere. Feel the vibe cause it's something to share. Smooth, rich and creamy, you'll find it right here. Makes you smile, relax a while, it's fun and good cheer. Ooh, enjoy every scoop. Ooh, every taste will get you hooked. We have flavors that you love, a combination special. Come along, enjoy our treats. This is Uncle Pete's.
Hello, Crime Stoppers?
This is Crime Stoppers. Please share only your crime information.
I want to report a crime, but I need to make sure it will not be traced back to me.
Caller, I assure you, there's no record of this call other than the information you give us and the tip number I assign you for you to call back and check on your reward. This system has worked in 26 countries for more than 40 years.
Help stop crime. Call Crime Stoppers at 800-TIPS today. Calls are safe and 100% anonymous.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back. It's 7:35 a.m. Welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. And it's that kind of day, folks. And let me pause for a moment. I know I got some messages via WhatsApp. Nice shirt indeed. Folks, this morning is courtesy Checkpoint, and that's Checkpoint located at Upper Main Street in Scarborough. That's up there, right in Upper Main Street. And I want to tell you, it's about an experience when you get to Checkpoint. You know, you enter the doors and then the staff, Mrs. Elias and the entire team says to you, so what you feeling like this week? This is what I had in mind, but what you feeling like this week? Really, and I'm seeing them working and interacting with other clients and customers coming to the store. You know, what kind of personality you want to bring out? Something excited, something not too much. So I want to remind you and encourage you, our sponsor on board with us here, joining the Tobago Updates lineup of sponsors. Remember to Checkpoint. It's 639-5148, responsible for the shirt this morning, courtesy Checkpoint. Viewers, we also have a quick birthday before we head on into this segment this morning. And this birthday shout out is going to Rhonda Archie. Rhonda Archie, we want to wish you a happy birthday coming from the Tobago Updates family. Trust that you have an enjoyable celebration going into the weekend. All right. Viewers, in this segment, we are chatting with Jesse Taylor, Cultural Officer 2, Division of Tourism. And usually we will give his daughter some challenges when she's on set in terms of the art form. But we can now see the father of Shanaria. She normally says everybody identifies her. All right. So morning to you, Jesse Taylor, Cultural Officer 2. How are you doing this morning?
Happy to be alive and more so to be able to celebrate what should be an exciting Easter weekend for all of us here in Tobago and all who will join us.
Excellent. So we're heading straight on into a taste of Buku. Give us a sense of, let's deal with the specifics in the first instance. The time persons are required to arrive. Give us the broad sense of what the objective is of a taste of Buku this time around. Is it that we're getting as much as we normally do as a surprise? Yes, or is it that, you know, we kind of giving you a touch of things and then, of course, next year is going to be even bigger and greater? Tell us.
It's going to be a splendid affair. It's going to be all-embracing family. As you know, the Easter has always been designed for family, friends, and for those happy troopers. And Easter Tuesday, having been away from us for 2 years, it's such a relief. As the country continues to exhale from the global pandemic, it's such a relief to know that we are lowering the restrictions, that we are now able to be outside safely, of course, and we will be embracing all the COVID-19 protocols. And we are encouraging everyone to come taste of the melting pot, because out of a taste of Buku would be what you get from it, the melting pot. And on Tuesday, the 19th, you are all invited to come on down to see reenactment, parts of the procession, a parade. We are putting together aspects of Buku, the history and how it surrounds the Tobago presence as it has been over the years. As you know, the goat racing has been around for nearly 95 years, and it started as a way for ordinary or poor people to be able to race what they had, and of course they couldn't do races as race horse, so they began racing goats, and that age-old tradition is now among one of the most longest running traditions of the world. So the Tobago House of Assembly, and in particular with the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation, we are happy to present all that.
So for the benefit of our viewers, those who are viewing there across in Trinidad, those who are viewing in the region, they have their tickets booked and they will be across here this weekend. Give us a sense, the goat racing is one aspect that's going to be taking place on Tuesday. But tell us also similarly, are we going to have our usual lineup of our display of craft and so on, the food? So tell us a little bit about those areas.
The display starts at 11. and then there will be several booths set up that's designated for visual and other craft, and you can everything that you think that could Tobagonians can cook will be cooked at that place. So there are vendors doing a variety of stuff, a lot of Creole and other delicacies, traditional delicacies that would have been on the shelf for quite a while would now be out, and we invite everyone to come patronize and enjoy an evening of a day rather of fun activities, singing, dancing, music. There's to be a little zesty buku after, so there'll be a little zest. So there'll be things to suit all people of different orientation and who enjoy different things. So we encourage
I'm certain that would be a zest within all the COVID-related protocols.
Yes, it's called a zestival.
All right. Tell us about the start time. What time are these events going to happen? And give us a sense of what the day is intended to look like.
At 11, during the 1 hour for, there'll be part of the parade. So we actually doing a kind of theatrical style kind of presentation, because it's called A Taste of Boko, and it's designed to showcase the story of Boko as best as we can capture it within the time frame. And once we get to the actual pavilion, then there will be the formal start, and during that time, between that time and 6 o'clock, there'll be several races, grab, goats, etc., A1, A3 class, and whatever from the Goat Owners Race Association. And so you'll see the crab race is an international crab race that allows people to bring a big crab and race it, and who gets to the finishing spot first, of course, will be the winner. So there are things in place to ensure that we continue this Goat and Crab Race Festival, which is also designed to churn the economy and to bring back the tourism, the trust, and to let people know that there is a life that can be lived outside COVID-19.
Tell us something. The usual benefit that is derived would come to some who reside in the Buku area.
Yes.
Can we say similarly in this year, in terms of persons that will be engaged, will also include,
yes,
once again, the residents of Buku?
Precise, and I must credit the Assemblyman, Honorable Sonny Craig, who has been spearheading this initiative, and so is now seeing it to its embrace to fusion, because it's like I said, it's the Taste of Buku highlights Buku. We even have children from the school, participants from the school. We are embracing all the elements of Buku on the outskirts. We have already have the pan side in Buku scheduled to perform Buccaneers. So it will resound to the benefit of the people of Buku, its environs, and the various stakeholders on the island who ultimately would benefit in the triple-down effect.
All right. We heard that there's an addition this year as well in terms of shuttle service,
of course,
providing the support. Tell our viewers about that so that they know that there's that added opportunity.
That will operate 3 times. That will see pick up at the Botanist Garden. So you get one at 11. One at 1, and I think the other one is at 3 o'clock. But we are going to publish all this information via media release, and so people will have an opportunity to access this information in various virtual platforms.
All right,
so
good.
Certainly.
Excellent.
You just need a bus ticket and you're on your way to Buku.
All right. So I wanted to use the final 30 seconds rather, in this segment. Tell our viewers why they must attend the Taste of Buku that takes place on Easter Tuesday. You cannot miss that as you wrap up your entire long weekend.
Yes. You should not miss a Taste of Buku, because Buku presents what has always been an affair that's enjoyable. It has always been a place that has safety, and this year is going to be no exception. So we will have all the necessary agencies on board to ensure that you are safe, and in the event that you need help for whatever reason, the police, fire service, and of course the mere fact that we have been blessed by God and by all the help that has been coming to us for those persons in the various practitioners who have ensured that we have now a reduction in our COVID numbers. That's and the fatalities. We encourage you to come out and celebrate your heritage, your legacy, embrace the opportunity that has been given to you. Time waits on no man, and enjoy the life and be safe and have a fun-filled day with those that you love and care about.
All right. Thank you so much, Jessie Taylor, Cultural Officer 2 at the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation. And I know that the division, the secretary, the entire team, Assemblyman Sonny Craig as well, in terms of the Assemblyman responsible for that area, certainly, and the hard-working committee. I know that we also have a committee working on this initiative. They're all looking forward to ensuring, along with obviously the Goat Owners Association, to host each and every one of us, whether you're here in Tobago, whether you're coming from Trinidad, whether you're joining us from the region and the world at large. Tuesday, it's important to be at Buku from 11 a.m. to enjoy the festivities after an entire long weekend of celebrations. Thank you very much again, Jessie Taylor, for joining us on set. Viewers, we head on over to This Day in Tobago History with Devon Adana.
This Day in Tobago History. Did you know that on the first Tuesday after Good Friday in 1925, the first goats ran races in Buku? But here are 8 other things you may not have known about this nearly century-old event in Tobago. Number 1, the races were not always held at the spot where the Buku Integrated Facility stands now. In fact, the first goat race was held on one of the Buku village streets, which is now called Chan Street in Buku. There was another area called the Battery, used after Chan Street was paved and the area developed. But the Battery was soon abandoned due to the finish line's proximity to overhanging cliffs. Number 2, did you know that the person who started the goat races was not even from Buku? Samuel Calendar actually lived in Bethel but was originally from Barbados. He was an overseer at the Grafton estate when he had the idea that goats could be run similar to horses. Formerly, Easter weekends in Tobago were synonymous with horse racing, but those events were open only to a particular class of Tobago people. As such, Mr. Calendar thought that an affordable version of the horse races could be done with goats. Thus, the goat racing tradition was born. Number 3, the races began attracting media attention soon after it began. An article appeared in the Trinidad Guardian as early as 1930, detailing the genesis of the goat race and noting the innovator of the event, Mr. Calendar. Number 4, 18 goats were set to compete in the 1934 Buku Goat Racing competition, which took place on April 2nd of that year. The Tobago Times, a newspaper in Scarborough, reported on March 24, 1934, via correspondence, that some of the animals shown to him had a fine appearance. He also quoted Mr. Calendar that the stakes for the races had been increased for that year. Number 5, the goats can be seen at exercise every morning and evening on the main roads in and around Buku. This is not only a tradition, but a strategy that was talked about in that 1934 article and exists up to today in 2022 Tobago. The jockeys prepare months in advance to race their goats down the 100-yard grass field barefoot. Number 6, did you know that crab racing has always been a part of the goat racing activities? Members of the Buku Village Council have always been clear that the crab races have always been a part of the activities, and thus, in just 3 short years, not only will the goat races be 100 years in existence, but the crab races as well. Number 7, the last goat races in Tobago took place in 2020. Due to the pandemic, goat racing activities have been put on hold in Buku. However, the Buku Mount Pleasant area representative, Mr. Sonny Craig, confirmed that in 2022, the races will take place as part of a scale-back event called A Taste of Buku. Number 8, did you know that Tobago has earned the title of Goat Racing Capital of the World? This moniker was placed on the island not only because of the fact that our goat races are the longest running in the world, but also because of the fact that Tobago has a $100 million integrated facility that can specifically accommodate the racing of the goats. My name is Devon Adana. You've been watching This Day in Tobago History. Lots more after the break, so be sure to share the live and come right back.
Boy, want you, boy. Why you behaving so? Boy, it's 2 years now, me and run a race, boy. I swear I was going in a curry, boy. The Tobago House of Assembly, in collaboration with the Goat Owners Association of Tobago, presents A Taste of Buku, which will be held on Easter Tuesday, 19th April 2022 at the Buku Integrated Facility. This event will showcase the Tobago art form of goat racing, crab racing, cultural performances, and an array of local art and cuisine. Admission price $40 for adults, $20 for the children. It's all happening on Easter Tuesday at Buku Integrated Facility. Come get a taste of Buku.
Tune in for A Taste of Buku 2022 exclusively on Tobago Updates. We are ready to bring you the fun, excitement, and memories in a unique way only Tobago Updates can. Experience us on Gael METV, Tobago Updates on Facebook, and TobagoUpdates.com on Tuesday the 19th of April, Easter Tuesday at 11 a.m. exclusively on Tobago Updates.
Mash up the bread, dun.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers. It's 7:51 a.m. and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. Yes, viewers, the lovely shirt that I'm wearing this morning, courtesy Checkpoint located at Upper Main Street in Scarborough. Remember to connect with them at 639-5148. As we head into this segment, viewers, we've been speaking about the activities of the Easter weekend, starting with speaking to the upcoming theatre production with Bitter Cassava that we're looking forward to. That takes place Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We've been speaking to Easter Tuesday, which will be a taste of Buku. And if you know Tobago any at all, whether you remember it from now or years ago, we look forward to something as well on Easter Monday. All right, and chatting with us in this segment, we are speaking to a little variation. Easter Monday, Sports and Family Day. And this morning we are chatting with CMB Community Enhancement Group President Natasha Second, as well as Director Niconia Samuel. Morning, ladies.
Good morning.
All right, so as we get started this morning, we want to start by asking you to give our viewers a sense. CMB Community Enhancement Group. Who's that?
Okay, CMB Community Enhancement Group is basically a group of, let's say, friends with mutual purposes, like enhancing the community. The name says it all. CMB Community Enhancement Group stands for Canaan, Mount Pleasant, Buku Community Enhancement.
Excellent. So it's about taking on that personal responsibility.
Yes,
all right. So give us some kind of focus now as we zone in. Easter Monday, Sports and Family Day. Where will it be taking place? What time? And then we'll go into the details of what we can look forward to. Let's get the specifics for the viewers in the first instance. Where will it be taking place? What time?
Well, we are going to be hosting it at the Mount Pleasant grounds. Mount Pleasant can't be left out. Traditionally, there's been Sports and Family Day celebrations at Mount Pleasant grounds on Easter Monday. We are bringing a different spin this year because we're going to start with a bike show, and we have various novelty races. So we want people to come out, and we want people to have fun, experience all that there is to experience in Tobago. We did not want Mount Pleasant to be left out. So we know we're going to be celebrating Buku, a taste of Buku on Tuesday, and we wanted the entire community in Mount Pleasant to also participate. So Mount Pleasant grounds from 9 a.m. Tobago time, we're going to be experiencing all of the novelty races, including a little bit of goat, a little bit of crab, etc.
All right. Tell us, for the benefit of our viewers, in terms of, and I love the fact that you indicate what kind of time frame went into planning, because we know that the announcement was only recent and that it took place, indicating that we're going to see, a number of relaxing of the restrictions. What kind of activation and planning would you all have had to dive into, dare I say, to get us to this point?
Impossible. Impossible timing. The timing that we did this in was about
5-6 weeks.
5-6 weeks, I believe.
5-6 weeks.
Yes.
Because we are a
5-6
fairly
weeks.
new organization, and we got the opportunity to run this event because the village council wasn't able to do it this year. Right. So we said, do you all want to participate? We went through the village. We asked persons if you wanted to have this event. They said, yes, let's go, let's try. We requested sponsorship. We got sponsorship from persons like Penny Savers, Morse Head, and Stumpies. We have also requested support from the THE and from the Ministry of Sports and Community Development. So a group of us just got together and we started to meet every day. We understood from once we got together the kind of effort it takes, but it's really fun. All of the members of the community have been participating, and we are looking forward to having a really good day.
Each year when I head out to Mount Pleasant and Buku, because that's where the Skeet side of the family is from. Okay. My great-grandfather, Elkina Skeet, very instrumental in the Mount Pleasant games and the village council years gone by. And similarly as well, the Skeets out of Buku. And one of the things I look forward to, and I'm sure most of Tobago and our visitors, is that opportunity to visit a household. I know that may not be within your plan, but do you think we can look forward to that traditional drop by a household harvest type event? And as you spoke to the fact that you would have gone around the community and there was certainly an interest that was expressed in doing something in Mount Pleasant.
Yes.
Can we look forward to seeing?
Yes, we can. And the actual members of the community have been helping to get the place ready. So we're doing the power washing, the cleaning. We've organized our vendors from the general district and the immediate environs. People are going to be coming to volunteer on the day. So we are going to have that sort of community building kind of experience taking place. We really are looking forward to it, and we want to invite everybody. We know a lot of trainees are over here. We want people to come out. One thing I want to mention, there is a little difference because we did say it's an enhancement group. So any proceeds that we get from it is going to go directly back into the community, starting with Mount Pleasant. You know, school is going to be opening soon. A lot of kids haven't been physically in school, especially the ECCE level. So what we want to try to do is to support parents in the district to ensure that the kids are ready for the day after Tuesday, so that they are, they're prepped with the support of the community.
Excellent. So as we prepare to bring up the flyer there in the lineup here, talking about CMB Community Enhancement Group, walk us through the activities of the day as we get started from 9 a.m. I'm seeing all kind of things listed out here, parade, athletics. Walk us through while we have the flyer will be up on set shortly.
Okay. The first activity that we want to start with is the Bike Expo.
Nice.
The Bike Expo would be starting at 10 o'clock. We explained the Bike Expo is for boys between the ages of 7 to 19 to showcase their talent with their bikes in different categories. After the bike race, then we will jump into the sports. The sports would now start with the Easter Bonnet Parade, and then we would go into more of the races, Mama's Race, Tug of War. We have the greasy pole at the end. We have hula hoop, beer drinking competition. So there's a range variety of different things that will be happening on the day. We want everybody to be as interactive on that day as they can. You know, the restrictions aren't 100% lifted, but we would like persons to come out and enjoy themselves and be, interactive with everyone.
All right, excellent.
Have fun,
tell us about the cost in terms of attending the event, because I also see, goat races, novelty races, athletics, bonnet parade. Tell us about the cost for attending this year.
So it's very affordable, only $20 at the gate for adults and $10 for children. And once you're there, we have ring toss and so on that you may have to pay $5 or $3 for a chance, etc. But most of the races are free. They're all free for all of the children, but for the adults, like the crab race, you have a little $10 fee. For the goat race and so on, there's a fee that you pay once you get there. But to enter, $20.
Entertainment. I cannot end the interview without talking. We're seeing a number of photos below there. Entertainment. Tell us very quickly.
Entertainment, Garden Night, Melik, Jam Melody, Kids. We have small Tobago artists as well, Marvin Lewis and Kizia also. And then we have our DJ. So we have about 6 different artists that would be there on that day.
It's a vibe. Those listening in, of our viewers who may have an interest in participating, whether it be vending, getting involved in the races, etc., give us contact information very quickly for those who want to get into the initiative itself beyond just the persons who want to attend and enjoy.
Okay. The bike registration is $60. You can contact me at 361-4232. I'm also at the constituency office in Mossad, opposite by the Peach Building.
All right, good. So we look forward. So tell us the contact again.
361-4232. Everybody knows me as Nicole.
Right,
so you ask for Nicole.
So the contact number is 361-4232. That's 361-4232. And we're looking forward to Easter Monday Sports and Family Day that takes place there at the, I almost said Buku, but Easter Monday Sports and Family Day that takes place at Mount Pleasant grounds. And then we have Easter Tuesday taking place at Taste of Buku. And we want to encourage you in terms of coming out and participating and supporting the initiatives happening here in the Tobago space. And rightfully so. We saw an opportunity and a gap is being filled to ensure that we connect. And therefore we look forward as we transcend 2022 with the pandemic to an even bigger and greater celebrations heading on into 2023. Viewers, we want to thank you so much for the continued love and support. We also want to advise you that this morning we will be live this morning from 10 a.m. as we cover transitioning agribusiness in Tobago, and this will be the launch that's taking place of that will be happening at Garden Side Car Park, hosted by TADCO. The launch that's taking place from 10 a.m. and we want to encourage each and every one of you to tune in and to connect and come ensure that you benefit from all the exhibitions that's going to be taking place at the Garden Side. And you'd have also seen some of our ads this morning with Assembly Legislature. The mystery is on. It's a nighttime activity. Presiding Officer Abby Taylor and the entire team up there ensuring, and we want to encourage you, let's go and get excited to learn about our history, learn about our art form. Folks, there's so many things happening over the course of this Easter weekend. So you got to stay tuned and connected to the Tobago Updates morning show. And we are heading on in to Good Morning Tobago with Candice and Denisia. So we want to thank each and every one of you, those of you joining us via TV, Gael and MNE TV, those of you joining us via Smash Radio, online at Tobago Updates and YouTube. Thank you so much for the love and support. Have a great weekend, folks. Stay tuned. We're heading on over to GMT. All right, folks, as Rio would indicate to us, each and every day, remember to wear your mask, especially in this weekend. Wear your mask, wash those hands, soap and water, sanitize, and to remain socially distant. Enjoy, folks. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye for now.
And look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. I wanna share my love.
Start off your Easter weekend with a historical tour of the Assembly Legislature. Learn about the hidden parts of Tobago's history from inside one of the oldest buildings in the Caribbean, located on Jenningham Street in Scarborough.
So why it sounding so scary?
It's better not to come alone. Entry is free. Once you're inside, you might have to stay forever.
What you mean stay forever?
Just walk with your money for refreshments and a donation towards our student study tours about the Westminster Parliamentary System.
Okay.
Thursday, 14th April 2022, Assembly Legislature Historical Tour, the X-Files edition. Assemble at the Old Market Car Park for 7 p.m. COVID protocols will be enforced. Check our social media pages to reserve your space and for updates forever.
Tune in for a taste of Boko 2022 exclusively on Tobago Updates. We are ready to bring you the fun, excitement, and memories in a unique way only Tobago Updates can. Experience us on Gael METV, Tobago Updates on Facebook, and TobagoUpdates.com on Tuesday the 19th of April, Easter Tuesday at 11 a.m. exclusively on Tobago Updates.
Hello, Crime Stoppers?
This is Crime Stoppers. Please share only your crime information.
I want to report a crime, but I need to make sure it will not be traced back to me.
Caller, I assure you, there's no record of this call other than the information you give us and the tip number I assign you for you to call back and check on your reward. This system has worked in 26 countries for more than 40 years.
Help stop crime. Call Crime Stoppers at 800-TIPS today. Calls are safe and 100% anonymous.
Rest easy at American Stores. Up to 20% off. Outstanding discounts on selected Serta, Sealy, and Therapeutic mattress brands. Check us out today at American Stores, where we make quality living affordable.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
I'm Patricia Nicholson Richards.
Welcome to Tobago Update Sports. I'm your boy Marcus Daniel. Thank you.
Trinidad and looms
and remains. When the public is made, nobody lives here. Oil and gas exploration continues to affect the livelihood.
Spearsides, marine industry.
Tobago fishermen. When will the
Sion Francis
Hospital be fully functional? Of the 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. window at the treasures like the Golden Waterfall.
To rise in Tobago.
It's the return of the Chief Secretary's Bago Cheat Blast from Saturday 9th April to Friday 15th April 2022 at Sid Gray Sporting Complex, Roxborough. 7 days of explosive cricket action like never seen before.
That's one of the biggest hits in the tournament so far.
Come see national players Imran Khan, Mark Dial, Jason Mohammed, Jid Gooley, Terence Hines, Carrie Pierre, Christopher Vincent, Tian Webster, and players from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You don't want to miss out on the celebrity games on the final day, featuring West Indies stars Joshua De Silva, Akil Hossain, Jaden Seals, and Stacey Ann King. 4 franchises loaded with local, national, and regional stars will clash at 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. daily. Lots of nightly giveaways. Only $20 at the door. Get in the game with the Chief Secretary's Bago T10 Blast 2.0. This ad is powered by the Office of the Chief Secretary.
Boy, want you, boy. Why you behaving so? Boy, it's 2 years now, me I run a race, boy. I swear I was going in a glory, boy.
The Tobago House of Assembly, in collaboration with the Goat Owners Association of Tobago, presents A Taste of Buku, which will be held on Easter Tuesday, 19th April 2022 at the Buku Integrated Facility. This event will showcase the Tobago art form of goat racing, crab racing, cultural performances, and an array of local art and cuisine. Admission price $40 for adults, $20 for the children. It's all happening on Easter Tuesday at Buku Integrated Facility. Come get a taste of Buku.
Yeah. Hey. Tobago updates. Na 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 na. Good morning, Tobago. Na 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 na. Wake up with Candace and Denise. Let's go, go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers, we are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we stronger.
Good morning, Tobago on Tobago Updates.
Your source for current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad and the region.
With the perfect conversations to complement your morning routine. I am Candace Jackson.
And I am Denise Dempster.
Here's a look at your news in 90 seconds.
A man is dead after he got into difficulties in Backlet Bay yesterday. Eyewitnesses say the unidentified man changed into swim clothes on the beach and got into the water. However, he got into some difficulties shortly afterwards and disappeared underwater. When he did not resurface, visitors to the beach called for help. The Coast Guard and search responded to the calls and began searching for the man. His body was later recovered at around 3:30 p.m. Police removed the body from the beach and are now trying to ascertain the man's identity. Findings from a recent NACTA poll show that the Progressive Democratic Patriots is gaining the support of traditional PNM and UNC voters. Only on Sunday, political leader Watson Duke opened an office in Barataria. He has been walking through various communities, gathering much support anywhere he goes. The NACTA poll says Duke and the PDP have a high positive rating, while ratings for leaders of the PNM and the UNC are dropping and losing ground. In the wake of rising food prices, there will be no increase to taxi fares in Tobago. So says President of the Taxi Drivers Association, Binley Dekoto. He told Tobago Updates that it will be unreasonable to increase taxi fares at this time in light of the recent price hike less than a month ago. He noted that the population is already facing enough financial challenges and they will not add to that burden at this time. That was your news in 90 seconds.
Well, we had some interesting news coming out of Trinidad, you know, Denise here, because we were both down there and we were there to see the support that Mr. Duke is getting in Trinidad as he launches his party there, opens the office, you know, and it's just very interesting. I know some persons are a little bit wary of the NACTA poll because, you know, it has not always been as, you know, accurate, or at least the results did not match up with what the poll suggested. However, you know, it's interesting to see that the approval ratings for the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, and for opposition leader Kamala Persaud-Bissessar, they're both dropping.
They also said that aspiring political personalities such as the former police commissioner Guy Griffith and leader Philip of the PEP, Edward Alexander, appears to be doing much better than the PNM and the UNC at this time.
Yes, it seems to be, what's the word? The word is slipping me right now, however. But it seems as though there's a consensus across the island of Trinidad that they are tired of the UNC and the PNM rhetoric, and they are anxious to have fresh new blood in Trinidad, at least politically, because they've had those two for however long, like I guess since independence. So of course the UNC only came into being in the 90s, but you know, people are tired right now because we've tried both of them and they have not given us the results that we've wanted. So maybe it's time to try someone else.
Kind of piggybacking on your point, you know, they said that usually before you had the option between PNM and the UNC. So if you didn't want to vote the PNM, you voted the UNC and vice versa. There were not a lot of options given. So now people are actually excited and happy that there are now many options to pick from rather than the norm. It's either between PNM or the UNC. You now have the PDP, who is the advocate for change and has been doing the groundwork thus far in making sure that the issues that citizens have, they can be addressed once elected in office.
All right, so now moving away from the politics and on to our show this morning. Now we are talking about what's happening in Tobago, and we are going to be speaking with, about a car show that's going to be happening. Car show is returning to Easter in Tobago.
Yes, very interesting. Also, you're going to be speaking to Miss Marsha Holder. She's the president of the Glen Road United Association, and they have a kite competition coming up. So she'll be elaborating on that kite competition. When was the last time you heard of a kite competition?
All right, things are happening in Tobago, but folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break with all this wonderful information.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Rest easy at American Stores. Up to 20% off. Outstanding discounts on selected Serta, Sealy, and Therapeutic mattress brands. Check us out today at American Stores, where we make quality living affordable.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes for breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Yeah. Hey.
Tobago updates. Na, 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 na. Good morning, Tobago. Na, 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 na. Wake up with Candace and Denicia.
Let's go, go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. It's 8:17 on this wonderful Wednesday. With us is Miss Marsha Holder, the president of the Glen Road United Association. Good morning and welcome to Tobago Updates.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So tell us about this kite competition.
Well, kite is a part of Tobago, yeah, and we would have realized we are an organization that's about 2 years old. We started in 2020 and coming out of the prison in our community. So we had Glenrodians abroad, Glenrodians in Tobago, Glenrodians here. We met and we advocated against the prison. It was moved. And since then we realized that, you know, there is a need for us to do things for persons within our community, and that's where we started. So we've been doing a number of community projects since then. And we would have realized in doing those projects that people were a bit disheartened. The community was a bit disjointed in terms of being in the pandemic, being locked up. So one of our members, Shellan George, said, you know, let's do a kite flying competition. And it is something that we know. I think all Tobagonians, all Trinbagonians know about kite flying. And we decided to do it. Initially, it was planned with the pandemic in mind because we could only have a certain number. So we wanted persons to fly their kites from their homes. And we will have persons on the field, Brandon Fields in Idlewild, or some call it grounds, have persons there. But now that the place has opened up, it has allowed us to encourage more persons to come in and be a part of the event. Yeah?
Does it have a specified age group for this competition?
No. This is a family event. So the baby in the stroller, you can tie the kite on the stroller and have the baby come. The grandmother, the grandfather, we are catering. It's a family community event. So we want families to come out. The field is pretty spacious, so it would allow persons to come with their chairs, they sit upon and just sit down and have fun. We also decided to do some novelty events. So because we have a lot of toys and giveaways for the children. So we're going to be doing that as well and have, you know, regular novelty events, running, egg and spoon, the regular thing that we do on a family day.
Where is the kite competition taking place?
It is in, it's Brandon Fields. It's officially known as Brandon Fields. Some of us will call it grounds in the community in Idlewild. Once you pass Jones Motors and you go in there, you're going to find the field there.
When is it taking place?
Tomorrow. We start at 11. We run until 4. We don't want to compete with the cricket. And yeah, we want persons to come out. And we have giveaways for categories, some little cash prizes and so on.
Do you have, could you tell us what are some of the giveaways?
Well, for the children, we have toys, and for those participating in the kite flying competition itself, we're going to be giving cash prizes. Right?
Is this something that you see would take place annually?
That is our hope. When we started, we were doing community projects around Christmas time because that's when we started, around November 2020. So every Christmas we would do something. We also did supplies where we gave out school supplies to over 100 children. Initially, it's each neighbor take care of the other, and what we found in taking care of persons in our community, we started getting requests for help from other people in Tobago. So we have helped persons as far as Speyside, Roxborough to Crown Point. So for us, it is all about building communities, starting with our own, Glen Road, and then branching out to others.
Why is kite flying special to Tobago?
It's just something about joy. If you look at our flyer, we coined this one, Look Up. And it was really to foster that idea that, you know, no matter what we're going through, the hardships, the difficulties that this period would have brought in terms of sickness or finances or all of it, that sometimes you just need to look up. And that kite with the colors, the size, the noise, we grew up knowing when the kite dropped, guys used to be running through the yard to catch the kite, and you know, if you catch the kite, it's yours, right? You lost your kite, kind of thing. So, and if you look at Glen Road, initially the community wasn't really, we don't have fences like that. The newer houses do, but the older houses don't. And that really facilitated the shortcut living. You could pass through the community, pass through somebody's yard to get from point A to point B. And it also facilitated running down the kite, running down that kite. So we want to just bring back that kind of joy and yeah, just have more people look up and know that things are going to be a little better.
How can persons get involved? Is there a registration process?
Well,
is there
yes,
entry fee?
just for the competition, the kite flying itself, because we're giving cash prizes, it's only $10 to enter. On the flyer, we have contact numbers. They are 786-7286, and the other one, I don't know off the top of my head, I think is 482. It's there somewhere, 484-6222. You don't have to call before, just come on the day and you can register, and we will, it's really based on age. We have under 5, under 10, teenagers and then adults. And then we have different categories: biggest kite, best kite, best Easter kite, most colorful kite, best kite for under 5, best kite for under 10, that kind of thing.
Have you encountered any hiccups and how you managed to overcome those challenges?
Because we are an NGO, we have persons calling wanting to sell things on the day. And because this is funded by persons in the community. It's not affiliated with any other organization. These are persons dipping in their pockets. So we said we need to start to find ways to raise funds. So we're going to be selling light refreshments on the day. And we had to say, well, no, we don't want to invite others because we want to sell on the day and raise funds. And some persons might have been annoyed, but it's not to isolate people or to take money out of person's pocket. It's really to allow us to start raising funds. And then this is the first year. So after this year, we're going to do a post-mortem. We're going to see the fact that persons are asking is something we would definitely have to consider, because there are persons in our community where that is how they apply their trade. So it's something that the committee will definitely look at, and we will grow next year and allow for that.
Are there any projects that persons could look forward to from your organization?
Well, so far, yes, so far we have done hamper distribution. The first year we did 12. Last year for 2020 we said we wanted to do 21 hampers for 2020, and we were able to do that. Each hamper is about 6 to 100 US per hamper. We were able to do 21 hampers and additional, because we had persons calling and requesting for a neighbor or a friend that is in need. So we did about, I think, 25 hampers last year. We want to up the ante this year. We also did, as I told you, with the reopening of school last year, we did school supplies to over 100 children. That was not only in our community, it went across the length and breadth of Tobago. This one was funded by our international members. They packed the barrels and sent it down, and the division assisted us by giving us these application forms that allow us to not have to pay too much duties. So that allowed us to bring it in, and we were able to give out bags and books and stationery and so on. We did that. We're working on ensuring that we have some people with device issues. So right now we are working on getting devices. Also, the young persons in the community would have spoken about Brandon Field itself, and the fact that they can only use it in the daytime. They really want lights. Yeah, if they want to play a match, they will have to go to another community, and this is a field that is used, and there is a pavilion and so on. So to encourage people who want to exercise, they can only do so within a particular time frame because of the lack of amenities. So that is one of the things that I know we would want to advocate for, because it is, the young people have spoken about it, they want it, and you know, sometimes I go to Codler Hall to walk when I can easily just walk outside my doorstep, you know. So those are some of the things we want to do. We have elderly in our community who live alone, and with them, sometimes they need help, they need things, repairs that need to be done. Those things have a cost. So these are some of the things that we have in train, and many, many more. Yeah?
So before we close, just remind persons of the date, the time, and where again?
You are coming to Idlewild Field, Brandon Field, otherwise known as Grounds. We call it Grounds. The time is 11 a.m. You're coming with your kite. Be as creative as you can. Be as colorful as you can. Walk with your cooler. If you don't want to walk with your cooler, we will have drinks, water, hamburgers, hot dog on sale. Come with your $10. Come with your competitive spirit. Come with fun and vibes. And just let us have fun on the day. We're going from 11 to 4. So we're looking forward to seeing you.
There you have it, folks. I don't need to see anymore. She did my job for me. We'll be right back after the break.
Tune in for a taste of Boko 2022 exclusively on Tobago Updates. We are ready to bring you the fun, excitement, and memories in a unique way only Tobago Updates can. Experience us on Gael, METV, Tobago Updates on Facebook, and TobagoUpdates.com on Tuesday the 19th of April, Easter Tuesday at 11 a.m. exclusively on Tobago Updates.
Mash up the bread, dun.
Tobago is Easter. So join us. Call Thorns Place 745-7306 or 682-8676 and book your stay now. Rooms as low as 200 TT. Message us on WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram. Just a 5-minute drive from the Scarborough Port. Tobago is Easter. So join us.
Good morning, Tobago. Good morning,
Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. Now, Denicia, we have so much happening in Tobago during this weekend. Once again, Tobago is alive with activity.
Yes, we have the cricket tomorrow. We also have the kite flying competition. We also have Taste of Buku. We have a lot going on this entire weekend.
Right, we have the Mount Pleasant goat racing and stuff like that. Their activities are on board. I mean, it is so nice to see Tobago just being alive again. I think yesterday as I was driving on the road, I was just like, you know, Tobago feels a little bit different right now. It feels there's a little excitement in the air, like you could literally feel it. I don't know about you, but I'm certainly feeling it.
Yes, definitely. You also seen a lot of people gearing up for the weekend. You know, you've seen a lot of spectators, you know, persons coming from Trinidad. You also see persons internationally. You've seen a lot of excitement and a lot of movements this weekend. And with that movements, I want to, you know, remind people, I always stress, so always be careful. This is a weekend where a lot of things is going to happen. And I want to remind us, I always say it, we are in a pandemic. So even though we are excited about a lot of things that are happening this weekend because we have been restricted for so long, we still have to remember that we are in a pandemic. So wear your mask, wash your hands, sanitize, make sure and social distance. Please be safe on the roadways. Do not drink and drive. Stay safe. Keep smiling. We will see you again on Tuesday.
Yes. So,
but I mean, we would do live coverage of the events over the weekend, so stay tuned to Tobago Updates.
And don't go anywhere because at 10 a.m. we'll be bringing you the live broadcast of what's happening down at Gardenside car park with Tadco and their events, their agribusiness event. And also on Tuesday is a very big day because even though you would not be seeing us, you know, in the same morning show format for a few days, because I mean, of course, it's the Easter weekend, a Taste of Buku is going to be a very, very big show, a show you do not want to miss. And of course, if you are in Buku on Tuesday, come on and tell us hi. The whole team, the whole entire team will be there, but we have a wonderful show planned for you guys.
Stay safe.
All right. So see you next week.
Bye.
Yeah. Hey.
Tobago updates. Na 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 na. Good morning, Tobago. Na 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 na. Wake up with Candace and Denasia.
Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise. The energy fill the sky.